You know, I would love to wear the Dark Knight movie skin or the Frank Miller Batman suit that looks pretty good of the Dark Knight Returns, and not to mention BVS, also known as Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Because why? Well, because I'm going to tell you about this topic of the story, that's why, and we are going to start punching crime in the face, because this is Arkham Twin Days. Hi there, viewers. I am Leo Wolverine, your game commentator and founding member of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, as I am going to start explaining about the BVS movie, directed by, let's see, Zack Snyder, who directed the movie Man of Steel. So, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. And so, as you can see that, you know how the story goes about Batman's parents being killed by some punk with a gun and all that and sort of and so on and so on and so forth. And you see how he fallen into the well or the well and he's scared of bats and this kind of thing. Yeah, he's scared of the bats, you know. And then you hear the music returning the music of Hans Zimmer and JL Junkie, or is it Junkie XL? I can't remember the name. It's because both of these guys, music of Hans Zimmer is somehow really fantastic, as always. Of course, I do love the music of Hans Zimmer, and it is still fantastic. So, if you want to know how, I mean, of course, you know what happens next. His boy, okay, he was carried up by bats out of the well of the ceiling. I don't know how, but that was pretty beautiful for Zack Snyder doing it of the Snyder Cut. Also, there is the extended, uncut version, but that movie is an R-rated film. The uncut version, not the theatrical version. The theatrical version is rated PG-13. The uncut version of the movie directed by Zack Snyder is R-rated. Because why? I'm guessing he done it for the movie of Watchmen. And so it took place like during the time of Metropolis, where mankind has been introduced to the Superman, and so it was massive chaos. Then Bruce Wayne got out of the helicopter, going to head to the other building that belonged to Wayne Enterprises, is in the sister city of Metropolis, because Metropolis is the sister city of Gotham. Of course, I don't know which one is safe. Which city is safer, Gotham or Metropolis? You know, it's like the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. But however, these two cities are actually like right next to the Atlantic Ocean, if you want to know. So yeah, the Atlantic Ocean of Gotham City and Metropolis. So Gotham is Newark, New Jersey, and Metropolis is Chicago. Okay, so what is the city of DC for New York? I don't know! So, whichever works best. And so you see the massive chaos and the crashing down of the building that General Zod and Superman take the fight in Metropolis. Have you seen Superman taking the fight outside of Metropolis? No? Maybe? Maybe on Superman the Animated Series, but who knows? It happened before. I mean, he fought well outside of Metropolis besides the battle for Metropolis. You don't see Brainiac do that much sort of stuff around here, do you?
You know, the only thing that's missing is if that freak from Metropolis is in here.
So, here's another thing. Okay, so the battle intensifies. One of the buildings come crashing down. Like, it's gotta be one of the Wayne Enterprises building thing. So, Bruce was kind of mortified, and he was actually trying to get a hold of one of his workers who work there, because General Zod was actually shooting heat vision out of his eyes that burns everything. Just like that. I mean, you know what I mean, how you place your hands on the hot dryer and you dry them up real quickly, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But General Zod and Superman's work. So yeah, that works super dandy. It's like an instant blow dryer that dries up your hands that your hands are too wet. And because of the chaos and mayhem, and then he sees another one of workers who work for Wayne Enterprises, and his legs were crushed, and he says he can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs. So, and then the next one, and then the next thing, what is the word? What is the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah. Right. A little girl was standing right in front of the crashing. The debris is going to crash down on her. She doesn't even realize she's only looking at the. How do I say this? Oh, she's looking at the destroyed building. So that's why she was mortified, and so is Bruce. And she says, "We're gonna go find your mom." And yeah, that's how when she points at the building, and then Bruce looks at it and like, wow, so that is the Superman. Mankind is introduced to the Superman. Yeah, and BVS the movie is dark. I'll give you that. Of course, it is a PG-13, rated PG-13, but the R-rated movie is more intensified because it does carry out a few F-bombs because it's an R-rated film. I don't know why, but DC's pushing the envelope of an R-rated film of the main superheroes like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I don't know why Zack Snyder would do that, but in Watchmen, the movie Watchmen, it was an R-rated film. I'm not kidding. It was an R-rated film, and that movie is not for kids to watch. It's for college students or for teenagers who are 18 years or above and adults. So, but the PG-13, of course, it has like one F-bomb, which kind of was really, really silent because nobody wants to hear that, so it is really dark, and I don't think that's not a really good way to have a conscience to have as a movie director. So, yeah, that's not what I had in mind before. But enough of that! And so, 18 months later, you see where there was kryptonite being landed on the Pacific, somewhere off the coast of the Indian Ocean. I don't know, maybe somewhere in Africa or India, I don't know where, or the Seychelles Islands, who knows? I mean, where exactly? And then they found the kryptonite, I mean the divers, and you see Lois Lane, who's more of a reporter that, you know, what's her name? The actress who plays Lois Lane, Amy Adams, that's right. Yeah, she's a great actress, a great role in the part to play as Lois Lane, even though she would sound like a really good way as a reporter and a princess. She's from Disney's Enchanted, if you want to know. And And also the return of Henry Cable. Where's the mustache meme? And it's kind of funny, but now he is the Man of Steel. Because he was only on 3 movies. That's right, 3 movies: Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League. So yeah, that's about it. All 3 Batman movies, to be honest. And so for that, it gets a little bit more interesting. Okay, she's showing more around the feet, on the how do I say? On the field. I'm not saying contingency field, more like in the field duty as a reporter. So she goes to the Middle East, I don't know, somewhere that's in Nairobi, Africa, Nairobi, what, I don't know, it doesn't say the country's name, but I'm guessing it feels like it's like a city or a country that I know that is not Wakanda from the Marvel Universe. And so for that, it's really... Ooh. And so for that, Lois Lane was talking to one of the people who are who carries, I don't know, I think it's like this terrorist organization group. I mean, this is the DC Comics, DC Cinematic Universes I'm talking about. Okay? The Christopher Nolan universe is over. Now it's the DC Cinematic Universe is we're moving on to. But the movie is really dark, okay? Because it's even darker that it's an R-rated film. And a music of Hans Zimmer, and along with adding features of JL Junkie, was it? Or I think it's JL Junkie or Junkie XL, I don't know. So, you see how she doesn't even realize there was a tracking device on one of the photographer's camera, but this photographer is not your ordinary photographer. He's kind of like a secret agent or working for the CIA or somewhat. And he said, and he just spoke to them in Arabic, I don't know. And then he told them we are using her as leverage. And yeah, I mean, she has nothing to do with this. Of course, Lois doesn't even realize it was a tracking device. She doesn't even know it. She's not that smart enough to know that the camera was a tracking device to locate something. Of course, this terrorist group think they have the upper hand, but somehow the tables are overturned by another group that works around the clock. And they shoot down the ones who work with the main, working with their main leader, and making themselves away. And then usually Lois really, truly, honestly doesn't know. Does she absolutely think she's absolutely that smart to think that there's a tracking device on a camera? No. She does not know it. She doesn't know it. But this guy is just not as smart as he thinks he is. And so out of this, how do I say? Now Superman comes out of the clouds like the sky has cracked open. And so, here comes Superman. And you know about him and bullets. You know Superman is faster than the speeding bullet, correct? Because this guy has pointing the gun to Lois Lane's head. And this guy actually did not survive, so he is now the Gone. So yeah, he's now the Gone. And there was a court hearing back in somewhere like, I'm guessing back in Washington, D.C., about what's going on with Superman's duties or priorities or his objective. Is this what he do? He only wants to help out of the kindness of his heart or the discernment. And he doesn't answer to no one but to Lois Lane only, because since Lois Lane knows who Superman really is, which is, his secret identity is no longer a secret to Lois Lane anymore, including the military, like the United States Marines. That's right, the Marines. If the Marines know it, they will pass on the information to the United States Navy and the United States Air Force of Colorado, and not to mention the United States Army, or whichever works, including the Coast Guard. So, he goes with the Marines first, so, yo, Marines, Semper Fi! That's the Marine Corps. Semper Fi's Marines. The few, the proud, the Marines. And I like the Marines so much because what they displayed back on the Man of Steel, those were not real stuntmen. Those were absolutely 100% authentic, real, live Marines in the military. Yeah, that's right. In the military of the Zack Snyder movies. You don't believe me? Watch Man of Steel. You'll find out to see that I'm not lying and I'm telling the truth right in front of your eyes. I know I want to get to Batman quickly. And okay, now we get to Bruce Wayne. Then he's starting to have this, all this remembrance of all the time with his parents, of what happened to the lives that happened back in Metropolis. And then he's like, my mind is an enigma. And then you're going to see, yeah. And so he goes out to Gotham City and tries to rescue the ladies who are trapped in some kind of cell by a registered sex offender. Yeah, there is one. Like I said, the movie is dark, okay? So I'm trying to get you as campy as possible because I know the movie is PG-13 and I'm not going to go over the limit that is R-rated, even though I try to keep it campy and smooth as possible. So now that, and you see these two officers were carrying shotguns, and these ladies are kind of actually speaking in a foreign language. So I'm guessing they speak. I don't know what language they speak in, so I'm confused. And one of the officers said the silent F word, and I'm not gonna say it because that is not who I am. And that is not what I want to be, because I don't want to have a sinister conscience, okay? Because where do I get rid of it? Where? You tell me where anyways. Because it's not intended for this channel to say that out loud. Never have, never will, because this channel is going to go between like that of the mix of K-Wings Let's Plays and the Nightwing 01, but I'm not gonna go that hardcore. Understand? If you don't understand, then what are you doing here listening to me chatting about this, telling you about Batman versus Superman, the whole thing, huh? So we're moving on. And now you see the officer tries to walk up and he sees this offender right in front of his eyes, and he doesn't realize that this giant bat-like creature is right behind him. And guess what? It's Batman. And so he starts firing the shotgun. And you know how quick Batman moves, like a ninja, like really, really fast. And this officer almost shot one of his fellow officers in the face, this close to blowing his head off. This close because he has a shotgun. Wow, I mean, that officer's absolutely really blessed or lucky. But not the Batmobile. Because that is a mystery to me. I mean, how did Zack Snyder put that? And even though, like I said, the difference between a PG-13 movie and the R-rated film of the uncut version of BVS, Dawn of Justice, with the same name, the theatrical and the uncut versions of the movies itself. And Batman and Bruce Wayne finally explains to Alfred that we were like just wanted criminal. We were still like wanted men, and he told Alfred about something's wrong with the microphone. He says something about the funniest thing I've ever heard. And the actor who plays Alfred is Jeremy Irons, and he's a great British actor. Wow. He did so well, and not to mention he was the introductioner of the Russia's FIFA World Cup of 2018, which is on Fox, you know. So that is awesome. He's a great actor. Very, very well done. I know I've heard of Jeremy Irons. I don't know about him so much, but he does so well in a DC movie because British actors do know how to portray it well in DC movies, and not to mention Marvel movies such as the DCEU and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including the ones not of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, such as X-Men. Okay, but enough about that. So, it is just beyond my measure. And now I think that is, oh my goodness. And he said, if only something about say you wish to die young, but that never happened, sort of thing. But I do believe we are going to stop here for the time being, and don't worry, I am going to continue to pick up from where we left off for more of the BVS topic. I know there's not much to it about what I know, but like I told you, this is as far as I know from what I'm going to tell you about what I saw and what I seen and heard. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and tell me what do you guys think of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, whether it's loved or hated by viewers of that movie, and like this video or share this video if you guys like Arkham Twin Days so much. So for anyways, this is Leo Wolverine saying and speaking as always as your sensational special being who takes chances, makes mistakes, and get messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember, the Dark Knight is always watching you. And see you guys next time for more of Arkham Twin Days.